looking at?
Hey y'all, this podcast may contain offensive language. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for a podcast that discusses not one, not two, but 3 of 6 seasons of Love is Blind on Netflix.
Seasons 2, 4, 6. You're not
Yeah.
talking about the other ones. Or are you looking for a podcast that teaches you how to do a watercolor painting for your mental health?
Ooh, what about a podcast that tries to break down the lessons one can learn from the Emerald Tablets?
What is that?
Ugh, we'll get into it.
I hope it's this podcast. Or are you looking for a podcast that helps you to figure out how to, I can see your face, you're like, where's she going with this? But like, how do you deal with like super deep kitchen cupboards? I just don't know what to do with them.
Oh, you go in, but you might not come out. Well, if that's what you're looking for.
What is this? The Chronicles?
Then this is not the podcast for you.
For you.
No.
Or anyone.
Or anyone, really. I'm Sarah. That's Haley. Getting lost in the cupboards. And we are back after a break. Thanks for hanging in there, folks. Play it again, Sam.
Damn, I thought it was Stan.
Stan, Pam, Pamela Ding Dong, Pam and her Pam Pams. Oh my God, how are you?
I'm well. It's sunny out.
Yes.
It's a day of the week. I don't know which one. And it's the end of the work day. So I'm pretty happy. How are you?
I'm good. Yes, it's sunny. There are some gross gray clouds in the distance. I'm not sure if they're coming or going. I can barely decide. I just drank a fifth of okay. Dare me to drive. Yeah, I'm good. I went and bought flowers for the backyard. I got hanging baskets from Costco. I've got the blue planters on my thing with freaking beautiful colored pansies. I planted some lavender. I planted some irises. I'm excited to see some color outside the window. That is a for sure.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, other than that, all has been good. You know, the last time we talked, because I recently edited our last episode, and we were both in a where like, get out of this winter funk already. Let's get spring. Yeah. And it's so nice to say, like, kind of, we're here. Like, I've been out playing tennis now a couple times. I've been out playing pickleball. I got the yard stuff done, like I said. Like, I'm so stoked on that. It was desperately needed to happen.
It was so glum and dreary, and now anytime I see the sun, I'm just like, yes, bathe me in it. It is amazing. It's lighter out later. Not that that means anything for me, but it just, I don't know. It just feels like ever since we moved in here, it's been like overcast or raining. And so like, I don't know. It's just like nice to see something different. It's sad is real.
It totally is. Yeah. I was fed up. I was just kind of itching to have, especially the longer days, like for taking the dogs out and stuff like that. And like just having that, like, it just keeps me a little bit better awake. It's not like 4:30, I'm closing the curtains, I will put my pajama pants on. Like, it's so depressing by the end of it. It's great in like October and then I'm over it. But
totally, exactly. And it's like different if there's like, I don't know, like it used to be that, you know, the fall would be time for new TV and like you'd get all cozy, and like we don't have that anymore now with all the streaming stuff. Well, maybe it's still on cable. I don't know. I don't have cable, but yeah, now it's like you can cozy up and watch TV anytime. It doesn't have to be fall, and it's not as enjoyable when you do it all the time.
Exactly. A while back, I had been saying that I was watching a show called Mr. Mercedes. Did you ever get a chance to start it or watch any of it?
But it's on the list.
Yeah, I finished it and it was so good. And looking back, like I always do the Internet Movie Database deep dive because I can't not. And it turns out the guy that plays the serial killer for like the first, like for the chunk of the show, is the guy who played Narek in season 1 of Picard, the Romulan with the dark hair.
Okay, yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's where he looks familiar. And season 3, Kate Mulgrew was in season 3 and she's amazing in it. So for all those listening that are fans of both of those people, Mr. Mercedes has them in it, so highly recommend. It was a good show. Now I'm watching Love Is Blind on Netflix, and I hate
Are
my
you
life.
really?
Oh yeah, well, Brad went away for a couple days, and I was like, "What's the stupidest thing I can put on TV?" And I watched the first season, but now like I'm in season 4, and I literally only can say that I've seen like 3 episodes of each season. Like I just watch like the beginning, fast forward through, look for some drama, and then watch the finale, and I'm like, okay, like I'm fine. Like I'm like not really into it. I'm just kind of like
Is
scratching an
the
itch, you know?
is the premise that like they fall in love without seeing each other and then they see each other? So
Yes,
just
that is exactly
okay.
it. There's pods, and they go in and have dates, and I think it's about like a week where they have dates, and then they can start choosing like I want to talk to this person more, and then somebody proposes without ever seeing them, and once they propose, that means they get to see them the next day, and then they go to Mexico, the couples that have gotten engaged, to like have like a little romantic getaway, see if there's physical chemistry, and then there's the meet the parents, then they have the wedding, and at the wedding they ask them, do you or do you not take this person? So obviously they set it up for absolute like tear jerking drama, and but based, like, spoiler alert folks, there's usually a couple couples that actually end up like staying married at the 1 year reunion, 2 year reunion, but then I go look for them
Okay.
on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like they're together anymore, but you know
Um,
fine, it's stupid.
oh no, it doesn't matter. There is a place in the world for that kind of trash. Like it is required when, yeah, that
Yeah,
you just need something dumb to look at. It's
yeah,
fine. It's totally fine.
yeah.
I thought that that was a different show. There's another show.
There's a bunch of them.
Oh, Love on the Spectrum. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, that one's good. I watched that. It's
Yeah,
very
I haven't
sweet.
seen that either, but it's all the same kind of people. You know what? People just are looking for love. They're looking to be loved.
Yeah. And quite oftentimes they're looking for love in all the wrong places. So
Mm.
they do the show. Hey, Jack, you're looking for love in all the wrong ways by crying over there in the corner. What about you? What's going on with you?
I'll give you something to cry about. I'll tell you what, John has started making bread. So, like 3,000 years after the pandemic, because we were working through the whole thing, we didn't get to go on that sourdough bread train. But now he's like, I'm making sourdough. He's got 3 different sourdough starters next to me right now. We have pizza dough in the fridge, we have bread in the freezer, and he's just going nuts on it, which is awesome. And so, like, his first
Love me some bread.
loaves. Oh, me too. So his first loaves of bread were like so beautiful, and he like texted my dad because my dad also bakes bread, and my dad just kind of gave the dad thing, which is like a thumbs up and kind of like looks good, and John's like, well, I was really hoping that your dad was gonna like be more excited about it. And he's like, I just want his approval. So like
Cute.
I go over to so first of all, I texted my dad and I was like, Dad, you need to make a bigger deal when John sends you pictures of bread. Like he wants you to make a big deal. And he's like, I gave him the thumbs up and I said homemade bread is the best. I'm like, that's not enough. You need to freak out about it. And so like I'm talking to him like in person a few days later and I was like, Dad, John's really just looking for your approval. And he goes, well, he'll never have my approval.
Oh, shit. That's real.
He's not talking bread anymore, friends. Anyway, but it was so sweet. It was so funny. Anyway, he's like, "Oh, I'll make sure that we have a bread making day before we go to Europe." I'm like, "That's so nice."
I love that.
Anyway, yeah, it's so fun. Anyway, John and I are like walking down our street, walking home from a walk, and there's this plaza with like a bunch of stores, grocery store, nail salon, M&M Meats, the usual, noodle box of all places. But there's like really poor pedestrian access to get to this thing. Like they just haven't thought it out. So there's all these bushes and then like these sort of like little trails that people have made to get into the parking lot and whatever. So we're walking down the sidewalk and there's like 3 of these little trail thingies that are coming out, but whatever. We're just deep in conversation. Someone fucking jumps out of the bushes and goes, "Give me all your money." And I'm like, "What the fuck is this? I thought we moved to a nice neighborhood. It's fucking Cheyenne."
Oh my God.
So she has a store, like her pet spa is in this location. And so we just didn't even recognize. She just jumps out of the bushes and she goes, "Give me all your money." We both completely froze. So we know that we're both useless in the face of
Oh,
danger.
did anybody have a potty accident?
No, it was close. It's so funny because I was like, all the things that went through my head, I was like, I guess we didn't move to a very good neighborhood. And then like, I can't believe this is happening right now. And then as I recognize her, I'm like, wait, it's Cheyenne. I'm like, why is Cheyenne robbing us? Anyway, she wasn't. And so yeah, she just loves pranks like that. And so I was like, fuck you. She loved it. It was perfect. Scared the shit out of us. And we've learned
Wow.
nothing. And
Well
then
played.
yeah, and John's like, I can't wait to get her back. I'm gonna like contact her boyfriend so I can get a key to her car to like get in the back seat and wait for her. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
this is
You're
going
thinking
too.
too into this now. This is real revenge.
Oh my
Yikes.
God,
Oh
so
my God, I love
funny.
it. That's
Anyway, but
awesome.
yeah, things are good. We're settling in, and
Great.
you tell me about you.
I got nothing else really. I'm never going to a hair salon again.
What happened?
You know how I had the blonde, like the cool,
Yeah,
like I was loving it, and I went to the hair salon to get my touch up, like because I just wanted to get the roots done, and
yeah,
my gray's coming in, right?
yeah.
And I go and I said to her, I'm like, I just want to get my roots done, and I just want to get the roots done here because I like the color, like the blonde, I like everything. I don't need to cut it, like it's just keep it
Yeah.
simple, keep it cheap, right? Well, I somehow still ended up with a head full of fucking foils. She changed the color. It turned into this really ashy, like it almost looked gray. And the bill was like almost fucking $400. And I was just like, I'm never fucking come. I just fucking dyed my
Oh
hair myself like 2 weeks later.
no.
I was so fed up. I was like, I can see the roots. Like I could see, and I was like,
You
I
didn't do what I
specifically wanted just
asked.
roots to be cheaper because it's expensive. And I'm like, I'm never going to the hair salon again. Like it's too expensive. It's stupid. Like it should not be that much money to have your roots done. And she's like, well, we have to do, I'm like, obviously you're still new, you don't know what you're doing, like,
No, no, because she
so
wouldn't
I
have
was
done that. She wouldn't have
no,
charged you that much.
I know,
Um,
I
I
was
know
choked, and I was like, I'm never going back.
that really sucks
This suck.
because you
So
ended
I
up having to do it yourself anyway,
I
and
just
it's
bought a
like,
box of shit and I did my hair
yeah,
myself. I did it black, but it's like faded out a little bit, which is nice because it was a little bit too harsh. But
yeah,
yeah, I'll just
yeah.
do my own roots, and then maybe like once a year I'll go get a trim. But I'm just like, I don't care. The gray's coming in. I'm not even like dye it. I might just like go for it because it's like really coming in a lot of spots. You can't see it right now, but like I can see it where I'm like, oh, it's not just like the cute 7. It's like 70. Like it's underneath, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm going gray. Like, do I really want
Me
to
too.
play that game? Right? Like,
I know. Yeah, I'm finding the same because I'm like, oh shit. Like, first of all, I've like tweezed all my little hairs out. So now I have like hairs this tall
yeah,
everywhere that are
yeah.
coming out. I'm like,
Like a
well,
bald patch coming in. That's
yeah,
awesome.
cool. Hey. And then, yeah, I'm like, oh, there's some more gray hair. Oh, there's more here. I'm like, oh, it's everywhere.
Right? Yeah. Let's
Oh,
talk about Star Trek. Let's talk
yeah.
about season 3, episode 2 of Picard. Are you ready?
Picard. Yeah, except for what about fansets?
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Do you know who they are? Do you know what fansets is?
What's
Do you
this?
Are you in the know? If not, what the actual fuck? Keep listening. They got hundreds of officially licensed Star Trek pins on their website ready for you to buy right now. Right now.
Now.
And
Right
they've got pins
now.
right now. You can go and look at all the different pins they have, and they feature iconic Trek characters from all the different shows, not just original, not just Deep Space Nine. There are tons of cool Delta pins too, and the good stuff just keeps coming. So check out their website now, fansets.com. If you find some goodies for your collection, use our special discount code at checkout to get yourself 10% off the order. And you know what that code is? It's Trek Geeks. One word, all caps. Thank you.
Our pins have character.
Hell yeah, they do.
Our pins have yeah.
You nailed it.
They
Their pins have character. It's great.
do. They
They
do.
have great pins. They're super cute. I love it when they put the sparkles on them.
Oh, me too. I like that extra little zhuzh.
There's a little razzle dazzle. Okay, are you ready? We're doing.
Episode,
Did you like what we
2.
did last time, where we did the kind of
Yeah,
like in sections? It was
I
fun.
did because
Yeah,
like that's yep.
let's do it. All right.
Sweet.
It's as fancy as we get. So I'm going to start with part 1. A flashback already. This is the stuff that confuses the shit out of me if I'm playing on my phone when a show is on. Jack is
Yes.
on the ship and he's bringing medical equipment to a planet and they are being boarded for inspection. He's working his magic using that British charm. And yeah, he's likable. I'm digging Jack so far. Hamburger Face, though, the guy who boarded the ship, he's not a good guy, not one bit. He totally sold out Jack. now it's back to the present. The big scary ship is there, and Riker and Picard are trying to figure out who and what is going on. They want to contact them to negotiate, but that ain't happening. They're running out of time and options. They feel like all they can do at this point is reach out to the Titan for help. Shaw, though, is so annoyed, and over all of it, he's barking at Seven of Nine about helping Riker and Picard because they are just a research vessel, and he's not risking folks' lives for some golden boys. Hanson, aka Seven, as I see her, is dismissed. I said dismissed! Riker says what we're all thinking. Jack seems familiar. The shuttle is lost. The four of them are trapped. This is not good. What a start. Go. Tell me.
So first of all, because this isn't streaming anywhere anymore, and you lent me the Blu-ray discs, I watched this on Blu-ray, and I just want to just do a little shout out. Thanks for adding episode numbers and also disc numbers to your discs. Way to go. That was really helpful. Like not anywhere. I'm like, I don't know what episode. and they're all named anyway.
Yeah.
We got there. So there's an error in part 1 where the computer on Beverly's ship scans the cool scary ship, and it says that it doesn't match any alien vessels, but that's exactly what an alien vessel is. It's something that you don't know. It's aliens. So I was like, I don't want to be like that person. Anyway, also sound doesn't travel in space. But for the purposes of, I get it. When Riker says that there's something familiar about Jack, I totally missed that this was a foreshadow or very obvious suggestion that he is Picard's son. Because I remember watching this the first time and crying when they find out that he is his son. Because I knew it was possible, but I didn't know for sure. And like the whole idea was that I was, hey, with that. I was like changing my mental health meds. So I was like totally like unstable. And I remember like the scene, I think it's like one of the last episodes where it's like, you are my son or whatever. And I'm like losing my shit. And John's looking at me like, you already knew that he was his son. Why are you being so surprised? And then I was like, I think I knew, but I didn't know for sure. And now I'm seeing all of this stuff. And also, I am much more enjoying Shaw this time around because if I take his side, his actions make much more sense. Like he is a no-nonsense starship captain who follows the rules. I love rules. What's my problem? Why did I not like him so much? Because he wouldn't let Picard and Riker take their ship to the edge of Federation space. Like, hello, of course he wouldn't. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean he doesn't care. Like he's already ironically calling them like the Golden Boys, and like he's like I'm fully aware of you too, and he's got nicknames for them. Like they are the gods of Starfleet to us, to fans who've watched the show, but to him they are a pain in his ass. That is a huge risk he doesn't want to take, and it's fun because it's not a dynamic you see very often in Star Trek. So it's kind of like I don't know. It's what captured my attention is just him being the last thing you expect. You expect everyone to be like, oh my God, Admiral Picard's on my ship. Like, I gotta put out the red carpet and like whatever you want, like no questions asked. Like, that's not realistic.
That's not
how it works, Like it's if your former minister of your ministry came waltzing in and started like demanding stuff, do you think the current person's gonna be like, oh yeah, sure, just take over, like no big deal.
Exactly.
And I just like Riker so much in this series, like this season, like just like the little hints about, like looks kind of familiar. Like he's given that like the side smile and the side eyes. Like he's adorable. So I'm and then the ship is so scary, and I'm just like, at this point in the show, like we still don't know who's on it. Like what are we expecting? So good, like buildup of excitement. So part 2.
Totally.
We're back, and it's time for some Raffi, who is watching a recap of the destruction of the Red Lady thing. She's clearly disturbed by it all and opens a secure channel to her mystery boss. Starfleet is suspending the investigation. They think they found the bad guy. Raffi doesn't buy it and wants to talk to some Ferengi gangster named Sneed. Her mystery boss wants her to do nothing, and she wants an in-person meet, which is denied. As if we believe that Raffi will back down. She's all over it, with or without permission. Seven throws it at Shaw that he has an option. Be the guy who let legends die or be the hero who saved heroes. Jack, Riker, and Picard are doing what they can to stay alive. They are setting up barriers to avoid folks being beamed away, and we learn that Jack is what is wanted when they try and transport him away. But why? The ship is now being boarded. Structural integrity is at 22%, and the green ghost lover from Bev's past is the tractor beam on the mystery bad guy ship, it looks like. Power failure is imminent, and then there are movements on the sensors. The Titan has arrived, and the music is exciting, and Shaw is like, beam them all aboard, whatever. We're basically a hotel now. They are all beamed away just in time. Phasers are drawn, and my God, I'm vibrating with excitement or sugar because I just ate a Cadbury cream egg. Your thoughts?
First of all, did you know that they make a single serving Cadbury cream egg that's like this big? I call it a single.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I also had a cream egg the other day. So good. How come the voice on the computer to Raffi is female and not very cooperative? Is it all to teach or educate her in the ways of whatever Worf is now? Genuine question. That's what I wrote.
Okay.
I appreciate that Beverly's ship has the same operating system as the Enterprise. The Titan seems to have upgraded systems. The Titan comes and dilly-dallies around instead of immediately beaming them aboard for cinematic effect.
Accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an exciting
and
scene,
the sky
but nothing's
is blue.
Yeah, right. Like it was a good setup for the rest of the story, but there wasn't really anything that crazy in there. Like, of course, Raffi's going to do what Raffi does.
Yeah.
She obviously wants to try and do it the right way, but if she's told no, she's still going to be like, I got to do what's right. So that's not a surprise. And Shaw's just like trying to hold on for dear life at this point. I mean, what is he going to do? He's put in the ultimate pickle, like Seven said. Like, are you just going to like turn your back on these two, or are you going to save them? Because if you let these two die, that's not going to look good on you. Like, no matter what the circumstance, at the end of the day, they are two, important people.
Legacies.
So, poor guy, kind of stuck in that situation.
True.
But part 3, here we go. Raffi is back at the party planet bar and is talking to her ex-husband. She asks about her son. He asks if she's clean, and she's needing something from him. For work reasons, she needs an intro to Sneed because he has connections from where he works. Her ex is not liking what he sees, the paranoia and the work, dragging her into obsession and what got her into drugs. And she would get pushed deeper and deeper, which pushed her son away. It's a really heavy conversation. Her ex digs in even more, saying he thought that she was there to talk about their son, but he gives her an ultimatum. I'll talk to your son for you, or I'll talk to our son about, like, for you, or introduce you to Sneed. You have a choice. Ugh. Back on the ship, we learn Bev is now stable in the hospital, and Shaw wants to know who they've engaged with. They are being hailed, and look who it is. Oh my God, it's Amanda Plummer. She is the most epic actress. Shaw's sarcasm is on point, and instantly the villain talks to Picard about the bounty on Jack's head and how she is taking him. Shaw says they don't negotiate with bounty hunters, and when they realize all the weapons the ship has, they know they are very unable to fight. Oh, running out of time. Very unable to fight back, and they have an hour to hand over Jack. Then she throws a ship at them, and all eyes go to Jack.
It's amazing that she gives them an hour. I would just be like,
I know.
You're
like
here.
Voldemort. You have 4 weeks to hand over Harry Potter. Like, fuck. Just kill him. It's so stupid.
Just kill him as he walks away.
Why you always bring a gun to a knife fight, man?
Yes, totally. Think ahead. So my thoughts. I don't really like off-world stuff. Not off-world, off-ship. I only like on-ship things. That's sort of my thing. So like Raffi's talking about Gabe with Jay, and I'm like, who the hell is Gabe? And John's like, Raffi's son. I'm just totally checked out. If this conversation was taking place on a ship, I'd be right there. Also, it was interesting when Bev was like, trust nobody. Does that mean Jack too? Like, don't trust him? Or am I taking that message too literally? Probably too literally.
I think you're taking it too literally. I think she would trust no one, as in you can't trust anybody in Starfleet to try and help.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I love how Shaw was like, I think it's important for you to know that I was having a nice morning before.
I love him. I love the sarcasm.
So
that's
good.
Totally something that I would say. I could see you saying it. Like, I could see Brad saying that. Like,
it's important for you to know that I was
having a really nice day before this. Yeah. Anything else?
Just Vadic is so scary and awesome, and like
Yes. Did you watch the special feature on the DVD yet that's about Amanda Plummer?
No.
Oh, yeah, you should if you're interested.
Okay,
Like
I
she's
do
so
like her. I don't know
quirky.
anything about her.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's super
cool.
quirky, so talented. I'm here for it. I think it's going to be an interesting villain. The Raffi scene really bugged me, not just because it was an off ship scene, but like knowing that she's legit and she's clean. Like I'm mad that her ex won't like let her like is making her have a choice. I get that they have history and yada in the real world, like that makes sense. You're putting up boundaries because you want to protect your family, but like when people tell people to choose me or choose the job, it's like you knew what you were getting into, like because you see it and you hear about it all the time with people who work like cops or doctors, and they're
Yes.
like they're holding it against me that suddenly they're surprised that I work all these hours. Like I was in this job where I was working towards this when you met me. Like you can't do that, like especially when it's something like this where the lives are on the line, like.
Yes.
But then again, a history of I've never dated somebody who had paranoia and drug issues, so it's hard to say. But it just upset me because like we know the truth about that Raffi is legit and she's doing her best, and I'm just like, just give her what she needs. Take her to
I
Sneed
know.
already.
Yeah.
He sounds like a character out of like Lord of the Rings or something.
I know. Oh, you're thinking of Smee from Cook.
Sneed.
I mean, Hook. Cook. Too many hooks.
Oh my God. All right, we got 6 minutes. Oh, okay. We might have to take a pause, but we'll see what we can do. Part
If we
4.
can do it.
Shot with his hand over his eyes is me at work all the time. We are cornered in space where there are no corners. Riker and Picard are trying to get info from Jack, and Shaw comes in showing all the deets on Jack and his multiple personas and how he's wanted. He sends him to the brig and relieves Seven of duty for insubordination. Shaw is ready to send Jack to them and just give him up, but Riker is arguing that they can't, but Shaw says they don't stand a chance, and now Riker's yelling at Picard about seeing what I'm seeing, and obviously referring to Jack being his son. Picard goes to him in the brig, and they talk, argue, and there's 18 minutes left to figure out what to do with Jack. Raffi makes her way to a club to see Sneed, played by Aaron Stanford, who was Pyro in the X-Men film and in a few episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. I like him. Yep. He likes retro human things, and I think that baseball is definitely a nod to Cisco from Deep Space Nine. Sneed thinks she's Section 31 and wants her to take drugs to prove she's not. She doesn't hesitate and insists she works for Toluco, the Romulan, but Toluco is dead because Sneed has his head. Raffi stabs Sneed in the hand and she's all high and shit is hitting the fan and she passes out while Worf comes to her rescue. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The flowing long white hair. He looks so good. He is her mystery boss. Dude, Haley, what do you think?
I wrote Worf and then more on-world crap, so I tuned out.
Oh no.
But I like it is Worf. Like it's so amazing.
I know. I just wrote like Worf, baby, he's back and he's fucking kicking ass already. I'm so stoked. Okay. It's a great scene. Sneed needs a TV show. Can we get like a gritty, dark HBO drama Star Trek series?
Why not?
Like, of all like anything not Starfleet related, but like all the places like on the outskirts, because it's pretty badass, pretty sketchy. I think it'd be kind of fun.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Yeah. Let's write it ourselves. I'll send the script to Terry and maybe he'll be on it. Terry, Perfect. If you're listening, I got an idea.
Terry, we know you're listening.
We know you're listening. Hear us out. Come on. Who wouldn't want to listen to this stuff? This is gold. This is comedy genius. No, this sucks. Okay. Picard goes Part 5. Picard goes to Shaw and wants to discuss a course of action, and Shaw is snippy. He's definitely grumpy and not interested in hearing much of anything. Rough day at the office. Jack Crusher manages to escape the brig, and Riker goes to Bev and wakes her up despite the doctor's warning that she's sedated and needs to rest. Vadic comes back on screen and tells us that her ship is named the Shrike. Oh, love it. After a bird.
Okay.
And she's going to pick away at them. Her tick-tock talk totally has me thinking back to her character on the Hunger Games. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Security alert. Escape from the brig. Everyone's looking for Jack now. Seven finds him, and they are phaser to phaser. He wants to give himself up to save his mother, and Shaw is like, fucking let him. And Riker shows up, Bev in tow, injured and weak, and she gives Picard a look that screams, yeah, that's your kid. And they put Vadic on screen, and Picard steps up and says, engage. They fire on the ship. Vadic laughs. It's giddy and creepy as fuck, and she says to follow them, and my video cut out because I was watching what was on my PVR, so I didn't see the very end, but I hope that that's the end.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. here's some questions. Why did they use the boatswain whistle, the captain on deck? Yeah,
That one? Yeah.
instead of like when he called for red alert. I was like, that's not the right. Also, Shaw is so great for standing up what's right. Fuck you, Jean-Luc. Rules are rules. And then Picard does say that he is his son, and I don't remember that from the before times.
Yep.
So that is that.
Yeah. What an episode. I mean, for episode 2, like we already have confirmation that this is his son. We see Bev up and awake. We see Worf. Like it's like this is like throwing you into the deep end, like already for episode 2. Like
it's huge.
Talk about hooking me in. Poor Shaw. He just wants to go on vacation at this point. He's so over it.
I know. He's like, damn it. I know, totally. He's got something coming. I don't think he's going to be able to go on his vacation.
Womp womp. So good. I think we're going to have to, realistically pause and come back to this if that's all right.
That's all right with me.
Cool. Well, any other thoughts then on the episode in our final 2 minutes, and then we'll take a bio break? Body
break. With Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod. I'm so happy to be rewatching this. It's such a great season. I like already knowing the story, so I don't have to, like, when the gravity well happens, I'm like really nervous that they weren't going to make it out. Like, even John was saying, like, when we watched this last time, he was like, I'm not sure all of these characters are going to make it. And I just thought, like, holy shit, that can't be true. That can't be true.
Yeah.
And was it true? We'll find out. Yeah. It wasn't true. Or was it?
Right.
This is a great season. It is the missing season of TNG. It's all the movies that we wanted in perfectly captured in 3 unlabeled Blu-ray discs.
Totally.
Thanks for getting them from the street. Yeah. That helped. Yeah. It's also, I'm glad you did. It's my fear that I will one day so I don't really download torrents and stuff, but if I did, one of my fears is that there's going to be like some sort of like real murder that I'm going to see.
Oh, like
someone sliced, some sort of snuff in the middle of it, and I'm going to be forced to, like, I will straight up watch an autopsy while I'm eating lunch, but I cannot be surprised by some real murdery stuff. Anyway, that said, want to go pee?
I can't wait. I might even just make myself a little cocktail. It's 5 o'clock.
I'm going to get a fake beer because that's who I am now.
I love it.
But also,
we'll talk about that when we get back.
Some of these.
Woo! Yes, we will talk when we get back. All right. Bye.
Hey, bye. Call me back. Summarize your meeting with AI companion. Try for free. Could you imagine what would an AI say about this terrible podcast?
Don't quit your day job, ladies.
Well, 2 white women bitch and complain about, oh God, I can't even imagine. I don't want to know.
Can't even. Apparently, though, we don't have to do that little waiting game that Zoom was doing there for a while. So that's
nice.
That's appreciated. Not appreciated. The 6 spam robo phone calls I got this morning. I have my phone actually set that it will not take a phone call if I don't have the number in my contacts, so it goes right to voicemail. And I had 4 voicemails of saying that my social insurance number was compromised. And then I got another email of a fake invoice for $900 US on PayPal. So I'm just like, I'm just going to cancel my PayPal account. Like, I know it's spam. Like, I know it's not a thing, but I'm just like, I don't even want, like, I never use it anyways. Like,
nope, I canceled mine. Nope. That is so frustrating. I hate those robocalls. I wanted to do the same thing with my phone settings, but I have this fear that someone will be injured and will be calling from a hospital and they can't get a hold of me, and then
they leave a voicemail, you'd think, if it's an emergency. Right?
I have issues with voicemails.
Fair. You got some issues. That's okay.
I got issues.
What are you having for dinner tonight?
So here's
take a hot pause. You got time now.
What am I going to eat? I have options, but I think what I'm going to make is cauliflower taco bowls. So it's
Ooh.
roasted. It's a Budget Bite. I don't know if you know her website, Budget Bites. BYTES. It's roasted cauliflower with like cumin and like spices and stuff like that, and then you make some rice on the side, and then you fry up some like black beans with cumin seeds, or you can use refried beans. And then I make like a little coleslaw with some chipotle mayo and like a little corn salad with a little cojita cheese, and you just like put it all in a bowl and eat it. I think that's what we're gonna make, or what I'm gonna make, and we're gonna eat.
Love it. Sounds
You?
good. I think I'm gonna do butter chicken tonight.
Mm.
Got
Do
some
you have
man.
a
Got
yeah?
some
What do you do for the sauce? Do you make it from scratch?
no.
What kind do you like?
I
Cats?
had one of those jars hanging out from Costco. I'm
Nice.
just gonna use that. But I would like to
Perfect.
make my own.
You could very easily make your own.
Oh yeah. Not much to it. You just need like 4 rutabagas, 2 cups of ketchup, and what is it? Buttermilk? Is that right?
Yeah, and you can make your own buttermilk.
Mm. And then for that, you need like a bunch of radishes. You need some celery salt and mayo.
Yeah, it has to be the no name brand.
Cooking with Sarah.
They have extra. They have extra. What was I gonna say? It was something about food. I didn't get my drink, so I'm gonna get a drink. Is that a Lucky or a Budweiser?
It's a lucky.
You're so lucky. Here's mine. Upside Dawn. Craft. It's actually pretty good. You know, I never thought I would drink like fake beer, but it's like fine.
Yeah.
It's a drink.
What's the whistle, as they say?
It does.
We're almost finished our rewatch of Sons of Anarchy.
Where are
We
you?
had Donal Logue come and go, which was just
Oh no, that's it. I'm
Him.
thinking of the different guy.
with his
Yep.
long hair. Lee Torick.
Yes. Lee Torick.
Clay's dead. Clay just died. Spoiler alert. That was it. That's the episode we just watched. She's gone. So you know what's happening soon to Tara. Not good. Aggressive hair cutting. No,
Aggressive dishwashing scene.
Mhm.
You're not supposed. That's not how you wash the dishes.
That's
with
not how
someone's
you use a carving
face.
fork. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such
So
an
that's-
intense series.
I know. Yeah, it's been kind of fun doing a rewatch, like just because it's mindless and we can just play on our phones while we have it on. And I don't
Totally.
know what I'm going to put on after. I watched a movie that was one of the ones that was up for the Oscar for. I know the woman won Best Supporting Actress, and Paul Giamatti was up for an Oscar. It was called The Holdovers. It's a very sweet movie. It's a very quiet, calm, like it's really good. It takes place in the 70s, and Paul Giamatti is a professor, a cantankerous professor that nobody likes at a all boys school for like rich kids, and he got tasked with the unfortunate job of having to watch like the 5 kids that don't get to go home for Christmas because their parents are vacationing or whatever, and it's like
Yes, they do.
you know, and it's kind of like a coming of age, like a very sweet two, awkward people being put together, and he's trying to give all the rules to the boys, but they're like, we're on Christmas vacation, and it's good. I liked it a lot. Brad didn't really care for it, but whatever.
Have you seen Poor Things?
No,
Me neither.
I don't know if I really want to. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It looks like a Wes Anderson film, and I'm not a big fan of Wes Anderson films, like artsy, colorful, weird movies.
I have a real soft spot for Wes Anderson. Movie House. That's what we're watching.
We're
That is
watching
not
House?
age 12. Mm-hmm.
Whew, that's a throwback.
So it's like it is not good. I remember thinking like I thought they had medical staff on their writers like when they were doing this show because they rely so heavily on all of the components of a health system to support the show going forward and stuff, and I'm just filling the space while you've walked away.
Sorry, Jack vomited.
It's okay.
Back outside.
Oh God, you have to.
He barked outside just like 10 minutes ago, and then I closed the window because it's cold, and now he wants to go back out.
Oh my God, because he wants to eat the barf. Anyway, House. It doesn't work. It's not great, especially binge watching it, because it doesn't like now when like Wilson and Cuddy show up, they're like it's almost like a sitcom where it's like the people from down the hall are coming and rambling on about the same shit, and it's just kind of like, oh, this isn't very good.
I feel like it would have been a really good show if they like committed to like 3 seasons of like good storytelling and then just been like, that's it. Like just keep it small, keep it simple. No one hooks up with anyone. You just keep the sexual attention, you keep the banter, you get the shtick. He's an asshole. In real life, it would never last. So let's have him go out with a bang, right? Like just because it's a good idea for a show. He did a fantastic job as a British actor. Like it was really good, but
but it's not great, and it's not smart, especially like since John and I both know how like healthcare settings work, and I'm like that wouldn't be a thing, and that's not going to happen. And anyway. But we're also watching Shogun on Netflix.
Oh, is that good?
It's so far we've only seen 2 episodes. It's very well done. Kind of like more serious, right? So like you want to kind of, I don't know, always want to watch something serious. I don't know what else we're watching.
Netflix has one of those new shows that's like unsolved weird mysteries or something, and I watched a couple of those, and they're classic, like, you know, the mysteries of Mount Shasta, or this specific alien abduction, or this haunted plantation, or whatever. And I was like,
haunted plantation. Are you still like keeping up with Oak Island? What's going on there? Nothing. You know what? I don't think they're going to find anything.
7 years. It's still on the PVR. It's still recording, but I haven't watched it.
Oh God.
No, I spend my time watching pickleball. I watched the Miami Open tennis, Formula One. I'm just like, sports can never let you down because you just pick a side to watch and you watch it. There's no drama. Well, sometimes there's drama.
But that's true. Bertuzzi, remember when he pushed that guy and then he cried?
Remember. Yeah. Brutal.
I get to work on the FIFA stuff. FIFA is coming to Vancouver, so yeah. Oh, and John might show Prince Harry around one of our units, our medical units, because the Invictus games are coming to Whistler next year.
Oh.
And he wants a tour of this mobile medical unit. And John's like, I might meet Prince Harry. I'm like, I want to go. Only if Megan's there, though. She probably won't be.
You want to talk about suits?
I want to be like, you know what? I've already practiced this. If I ever run into her or whatever, I'm going to, and this will not be good for our, it doesn't matter. I want to be like, do you know that I bought like 4 pencil skirts and like a bunch of tops to try and look like Rachel, and I never wore them because they never fit. And I think you did a great job as Rachel. That's what's going to happen.
Perfect.
That's what I've practiced.
That's the interaction these people crave for, really.
That's what they want when they're in public. They want to be accosted by somebody and then told that.
Yeah. All right.
IMDb?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Sure. There's not much. There's not much out there. I did a little bit of a research for some extra little deep dives, but this was more of an action-packed episode, a few less Easter eggs, I think. But either way, here we go. Amanda Plummer, who plays Vadic, is the daughter of the late actor Christopher Plummer. Oh, from Sound of Music.
Hot.
Sexiest character ever. Oh my God, Captain Von Trapp. Ooh. He played General Chang in Star Trek Undiscovered Country.
Yes.
Elements of his character were worked into Vadic's performance, including the order to display her ship's power by a finger wave.
Well, that's very cool.
Isn't that cute?
I like that.
I know.
She's so cool. What a cool family. Ugh.
Totally. Canadians, too.
I had no idea. That makes them like slightly less cooler to me for some reason, even though I am Canadian. Vadic's ship is equipped with isolytic burst warheads, which are the same subspace weapons used by the Sona. I can't remember how it's pronounced. Insurrection, which are said to be outlawed by the Second Kitomer Accords. That makes sense because an enemy, so to speak, would use whatever the hell they wanted, legal or not, and more likely illegal. I mean, that ship that she's got is like hardcore.
Yeah, it is so sharp looking. I don't even know what
Yeah,
else to say.
it looks not practical,
No.
but like very badass.
What's the wind resistance like on that? One of the charges against Jack is actual terrorism on Binar 3. This is a rare reference to the Binar system whose inhabitants have their minds linked via a computer and communicate in binary code. In 11001001, 1988, the Enterprise D docks at a starbase where the Binars hijacked the Enterprise.
Cool. The music heard when Worf appears is the Klingon battle theme heard at the beginning of Star Trek The Motion Picture 1979. That's a good choice.
Right?
Apt.
uh,
You get the last one.
This episode contains several references to the Sci-Fi Channel series 12 Monkeys, 2015. Todd Stashwick, Captain Shaw, played the character of Deacon in that series, the main character of which James Cole, one of the aliases used by Jack Crusher, is. In 12 Monkeys, the part of James Cole was played by Aaron Stanford, who played Sneed in this episode.
What?
Finally, the drug Sneed gives the drug that Sneed gives Raffi is called Splinter because it feels like it pulls you apart and puts you back together over and over. In 12 Monkeys, the process of time travel used was called splintering for the same reason.
Well, how about that? Now, do you think that that's a real thing that that was done intentionally, or that people are just finding out as coincidence?
I think that there's a lot of 12 Monkeys references in this series because Terry Matalas was the showrunner for that.
That makes sense.
A lot of people that are guest stars were
the sci-fi series. Sorry, I was gonna get confused with the movie. Yeah, different.
Oh yeah, that's a Brad Pitt movie, right? 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, I think
so.
I've
never seen the series. I really want to see it, but I can't find it anywhere to watch.
My brother told me that 12 Monkeys is about monkeys that take over a cruise ship. Like, I was like, that sounds good, and then I found out it wasn't about that at all.
Yeah, that's all I found. I didn't find any goofs or anything. I mean, you found goofs. You were like kind of calling them out on the whole alien ship thing.
Well, that's more like
add that to IMDb.
errors.
So someone
I should.
Oh my God. And I didn't see any other Easter eggs personally, except for like the baseball. Obviously, I saw that with Sneed. He also had apparently in the background you can find a copy of the Rules of Acquisition, and you can also find one of the gold Grand Nagus heads hanging out on his shelf. So I guess if people did a pause and did like a close look, you'd see that. But I liked that scene because I think like you, I never really cared for the off ship stuff because usually it was just like what random thing's going to happen to kind of propel the story, right? Like get back on the ship. But with Picard, I've really enjoyed almost like the majority of stuff. Like I really liked that episode from season 1, the Stardust City Rag or whatever, and it was when he looked like the one guy looked like he had like a zoot suit on, and they were at the bar, and like I like the bar scenes a lot, and like when they went back and saw Whoopi Goldberg's character Guinan at her bar, and you see like I like the scary like dark side of space. It's the same with when Discovery went into the future, right? And you see like these like really crazy wild, like there's gangs, there's like known bad guys, and so for someone like Raffi who is in Starfleet intelligence, obviously you're going to walk that fine line of being in Starfleet and being undercover or whatever the case is, and for her to have a husband or an ex-husband who is very much just like a non-Starfleet person. I'm just a regular dude. I work at a bar or a nightclub or whatever he does. And you're like, on that planet, like there's billions of planets where you could do business, and you're on one that seems to have a lot of people using drugs. You got sketchy Sneeds in every corner. You've got gangster. Like, why are you choosing to work there? Why don't you work at a bar within Starfleet territory? Or why would you? It's just interesting because it's such a whole world that they never talk about. And there's been how many different TV shows and movies of Star Trek? Like, you really don't get that dark side of like Yeah. Once you step outside the safe zone, man, like people are fucking
It's
doing drugs and running gangs and living on the fringe and doing whatever they want to do, and they're way scarier than you, and you're a joke. It makes me think of too, like the Star Trek movie with Chris Pine. And he goes to the bar at the
oh
beginning, and they're like, "Get out of here, Starfleet! Like you're
yeah,
fucking nerd, right?" And it's like,
yeah,
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 actually, at the
yeah.
end of the day, like they are. They're all straight laced, fucking goody two shoes, smart nerds. Like I'd
Yep.
never be in Starfleet. Like I'm not. Like if it was me as me, like I'm not. Like, I'm gonna be a fucking doctor. Like
Yeah.
I know
I
me.
just I know me.
I know me. I'll be like
I
you.
know. I know
I'll
me.
help decorate the ship. Like here we go. I cleaned the fucking fish tank behind Picard's
Picard,
desk.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that scene. Like I like the Sneed character, and you get like the sketchy, scary Ferengi, and then to have Worf come in and just like chop his head off, like it was so good. And you're just like, okay, I can get with this. Like a few more of those scenes would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. Like, yeah, I shouldn't knock off ship stuff. I mean, I just feel like it's more exciting when it's on the ship, but
So think back to when you first watched this and you finished this episode, and you've now found out that one, Jack is in fact Picard's son, and two, we have found out that nobody has heard from Dr. Crusher for 20 years. Did you have any thoughts about like what was her reasoning? Was it just to be protective, or did it trigger anything for you?
I had zero idea because to me, and even still, it looks like she went bad, right? Like she's got dark hair now. She's got this sort of she's killing a dude, stuff. The fact that she hadn't talked to anybody and that like no one knew what happened to her,
Yeah.
I figured something happened. I still don't think I got my head around the fact that Jack is Picard's son. At this juncture, I feel like I must have blanked on that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so upset later on. Like I was just finding out, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's all kind of. Did you have any sort of thoughts? Like
No, because like knowing how the show plays out and what her story is when she talks to Picard about it, like that aside, at the time I was kind of like I didn't know what to think because like you said, when you watch that opening of the first episode and she's just like rolling around all badass, like shooting people, and she's like putting up a fucking fight. She looks different. She's not on a ship that looks like Starfleet. I'm just
yeah,
like, who is this version of her? Because she was as Starfleet as they come, you know? And
totally.
so to be like, and then to hear everyone say like, "Oh, I haven't heard from her either," I was like, "Okay, this is weird." And I never put when they make the explanation like as to why, like it makes sense in some ways to me. It still seems a bit extreme in my opinion, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just kind of like after I just remember thinking after I watched this episode, I was like doing the finger count. I'm like, okay, we saw Worf. Like, where's Troy? Where's Jordy? Like, where's the rest of them? Right. So that's where I started getting itchy, being like, because I want them in all the episodes the whole time. I want,
I know, totally.
but it worked
Yeah.
out well. Like, it was still like, like the Riker already made reference, like, there's a problem at home, and I'm just like, oh. And then he's like, I like that Seven, and I'm like, ooh, as much as I kind of like the Seven and Raffi pairing, I'm like Seven and Riker.
That's
That's
a
a wedding
velvet
I'd like to go
painting. Yeah, I want to
to.
see that.
Oh yeah, big time. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to watching the next one.
yeah, I probably will end up actually watching it sooner rather than later, just because once you get the momentum going, like I had just finished editing the other one,
Hmm.
just watched number two. Like I'm like, I kind of want to watch number three now because I can't remember. I know what
Me too.
happened, in the series, but I don't remember the order of what things happened. So
Yeah, me neither.
we'll
So I'm like,
record
if you
sooner rather than
want, yeah, we can, yeah, we'll just record sooner rather than later. And I like the like approach for this,
yeah, it's kind of
like
fun.
with the parts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, gets us talking more Trek and less
Non-Trek
nonsense.
nonsense.
Less of
Yeah.
me yelling at the dog as he runs in circles and cries. Sit
Poor
here and
guy.
cry. Sit here and cry. Oh, I sure can't just sit here and cry. And that's it, friends. That's the end of another fabulous episode of Rewind. Did you miss us? I mean, come on. Hot Mess Star
Right.
Trek podcast, right? Right here. Um, please check out our older episodes if you're a new listener.
I
Or don't. And check out all the other amazing Trek related shows on the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. There are so many, and it's seriously like embarrassing to even be in the same.
I'm so surprised that they haven't booted us like super far. Like, please don't use the word Trek. Don't use the word geek. I feel like that cease and desist is on its way. Yeah,
Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Track gax.
Oh God. Yeah, thank you guys for putting up with us and for not being pressure to have these out. We needed a little break. It's good to be back. Thanks to the Patreons and the listeners and anybody who may still no one's sending us fucking voicemails. Let's just be real. No one's doing it. No one's messaging us on social media because Rewind does not have a social media presence. So that's fine too. You can message at Trek Geeks if you want to say hi, or maybe you follow me on X. Thanks 5 Year Mission for the use of your fantastic tunage as always. And that's it for this one. We will be back continuing on with our Picard Season 3 rewatch in the near future. Until then, use your sunscreen. Don't be a dick. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
Bye.
Bye.